Gino, good morning.
Did you think I'd make it?
I knew you would make it. I said,
What a night, huh?
yeah.
Classic nor'easter out here.
Is that, yeah.
Wow. So this is it, huh?
So this is it. Welcome to Heath House.
Oh my gosh. What a view.
Would you like a cup of coffee?
I would love one.
Great.
So just you out here?
Just me, all by myself. 15 years. Well, me and Ming Lee, my kitty. One of the real joys is not having a television set, not having an internet connection, not having to do email and all that sort of stuff. So no, I don't think we'll get a TV set soon. I used to do a kids program up at Heath House here, and I wanted to have something to show the kids, so they would, you know. So these, as I say, they're all things that I found on the property. Deer head with the antlers cut off.
Oh, very good.
Deer skulls from female deers.
Do you actually find them that they're decomposing at that point? But do you see dead ones? Do you know where they go? Do they just go to a certain place?
They go all over the place.
They'll just die wherever
they'll just die wherever they're at. Yeah, I find them mainly because I do a lot of walking. I walk all the deer trails that I find, and you know, I'll just be way back in the woods somewhere, and I'll see something, and it's a skull or some bones or whatever. It was really interesting. I found this in the sand pit, and it's some type of coral. And I found this in the sand pit that they use for the cranberry bogs. So it must have been brought here. And this looks like a piece of petrified wood. Again, I found this in the sand pit. And of course, who knows how this got here. One of the really interesting things about the sand pit is the fact that it's right in the glacial moraine. So that as you know, all that stuff that was in there was brought here by the glacier, so it's just literally bulldozed here. So you find all sorts of interesting rocks and stones.
Thank you.
Coffee.
Nice. One of those guilty pleasures in the morning, right?
Yeah.
But did you hear
no guilt at all.
But you know what? Now they're saying that coffee's good for you.
Oh, really? Oh, good.
Just recently. See, you're not watching enough TV.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Ming, guess what? Guess what? It's time for you to move.
How long have you been here?
15 years. This is my 15th season here. And the reason is because it's such a great gig. You know, what a place to spend the summer. I'm out here for 5 months, or just under 5 months. I come out the middle of May, right. And I'm out here until middle of October.
Right.
And to be able to spend the summer here on Nantucket out in a place like this, removed from the traffic with this incredible views. I've got 5,000 acres of backyard to just kind of mill around in. And my job as ranger is to be a presence for the foundation on the property. Mm-hmm. So I drive around in my truck, make sure the properties are in good shape, pick up the beer cans, mow the road edges, lead the interpretive walks, which is the sort of the fun part of it. There are a whole series. There are 10 different walks that I lead over the course of the summer, and I repeat them, so they're all together. I think this year there were like 24 walks that I did. And what I do, like one of the walks is right up here at Heath House, and each of the walks is about 2 hours. We go around and I talk about whatever's appropriate to the property, the geology, the plants, the birds, the animals, the cultural history, whatever pertains to that particular property. And one of the real joys is that it's a program called Mornings for Members, mm-hmm. so that the members of the foundation, a lot of these people have been coming here all their lives, have never been into these properties and have no idea about what's going on here, about the geology, how the island was formed, about cranberry growing on the island. You know, a lot of people think of it as being just sort of a hobby kind of thing that's been done. They don't realize what an important part of the culture it's been for.
When did that actually start out?
1857. There were three whaling captains from Nantucket who went over to the Cape where cranberries were first cultivated.
Is that where they were?
They're first cultivated over in Dennis.
Was that from native peoples? Did they do it first?
The native peoples did it for thousands of years before the first European settlers ever arrived here, and they used it. They used cranberries first as a food source. They did it a number of ways. They would take meat, say rabbit or pheasant or whatever. They would beat it into a paste. They would mix it with fat, animal fat from whatever animals they were cooking. And then they would mix in cranberries. They would mix in maybe some meal. They'd take bearberry, for example. They'd grind it up with a mortar and pestle, put that in, whatever other meal they had. And they would press it into cakes that they called pemmican. And they were, of course, there's no refrigeration, so it was great for storage. High in fat content, high in vitamin content, because they had cranberries or blueberries or whatever other berries might be. So with cranberries, we know that the natives, and by the way, the natives have been here for over 6,000 years, right here on Nantucket. And we know that from radiocarbon dating that's been done at some of the different archaeological sites, like, for example, over in right around Sacajawea Pond over there at Quidnet. Squam Pond, at Quays, Shimo, other sites around the island. So, when you stop and think about that, 6,000 years of continuous human habitation. I mean, that's before they were building pyramids. That's before, all the amazing things that were going on in history. That there's been a native population here. One of the other things they used the cranberries for was as a poultice or like a salve for wounds. They also used it for fevers, for calming fevers and so on. So the plant has a pretty long history. It's one of only 3 berries that's native to North America. The cranberry, the blueberry, and fox grape are the only 3 native North American berries, and we have all 3 of them right here on Nantucket.
So I assume that it would, because they didn't have refrigeration, would it help in the preserve?
Oh yeah, as far as the pemmican.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
right.
Interesting. Have you ever tried to make it?
I have. Back in my younger days as a teenager, I was at the NHA, and this is where I first came across a description of it. And I thought, that sounds interesting. I think I'll give that a try. It wasn't terribly palatable, and it could have been the way that I made it. But
do you actually cook it, or does it actually cook itself by being in the cranberry? Does it have to go into the oven?
No.
Oh, I see.
Right. As I say, it's a blend of the animal fat, this meat that's been sort of beat into a paste. And again,
maybe it needs to age before it's any good. Did you eat it right away, or did you?
I did eat it right away. Yes, I did eat it right away.
I think it would have to age. For it to be really good.
Yeah, I've got to say, it wasn't. If I was really hungry, it would have been great.
Right.
Because again, there's fat content in it. There's some food
There's no
content.
sugar though in it, is there?
There is no sugar in it.
So you're getting this cranberry taste. That's cranberries without sugar. It's like, wow, that's tart.
It is, yeah. It is. It's definitely an acquired taste. I find that over the years, I'm always over watching them harvest the cranberries, and I always try some of the different berries. We grow 5 different kinds of berries, and I'll try them to see if I can taste any difference between them, which I got to say I really can't. But I find that you can sort of eat the cranberries. That they're not that bad. They're definitely better with sugar. And what I will do is sometimes I'll take some of the cranberries, and after they've picked the bog, there are always some around the edges, and I'll bring those back and boil them up. Sometimes with rhubarb. because I love the taste of rhubarb.
Oh, I do too. I haven't had it since I was a kid, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they have it at Stop and Shop. In fact, I got some. I made some sauce, cranberry rhubarb sauce,
Yeah.
just the other day.
Jeez, man, you've got it made out here.